For 5 days, we explore the delights of Belle Isle. Cycling the country lanes and visiting its quaint villages. Finally, it's time to get back on the water and head north. With the following wind, we decide to get creative with the sails.
We've got the Genoa up on poled out. I'm going to try and get the cruising chute up as well so that we get double front sail action and see if that gives us a bit more speed.
It's a bit of a faff getting the chute up, but when it's done, we definitely pick up speed. The biggest question mark on the journey north is the Raz de Sein. We're planning to go at Neeps, but we know it can still be rough. On the day, there's little wind. We motor for several hours to get there. Passing the lighthouse, everything is gentle. The water is almost flat. After all the worry, the passage turns out to be uneventful. That evening, we're back in the port of Camaret. Next day, we have a dilemma. We need to continue northwards. The obvious way to go is up the Canal du Fort. But there's a north wind forecast for the next few days. In the Canal du Fort we need to sail with the tide, which will then run south to north. So we would be in for some pretty uncomfortable wind over tide conditions. To get around this, we decide to head northwest to the Isle of Ushant.
Coming into Ushant, which feels like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, it's quite exciting. There's this incredible sort of claw-shaped bay that's protecting us from the northerly wind. We're just looking for a mooring now for the night. We came out here because the wind is from the north and we couldn't go up the Canal du Fort directly. So we've come out all the way out here, and the plan is to spend the night and go back over to the mainland tomorrow. But for me, it's just really exciting to be on this island that's so far away from anything. I can't imagine how people here live, what they do, what they get up to in the winter. I don't even know if they get any deliveries of food. Anyway, it's pretty fun to be here.
Eventually, we reach the moorings and anchor up. That evening, we go ashore to check out the village.
I've discovered some quite cute facts about Ushant. It's the only French town which has an English name as well as a French name. It's got the most powerful lighthouse in Western Europe, which makes sense. You wouldn't want to kind of tumble across this pile of rocks in the middle of the night. And I've discovered too that they do have a ferry, but only in the summer. It comes from Camaret, where we've just come from. So it must feel incredibly quiet in the winter. I mean, bliss for some people, but maybe not if you're a teenager.
It's like one of these remote outposts, one of these special islands right on the edge of Europe, on the edge of the Atlantic, the end of the English Channel, steeped in maritime lore, history. It was the place that people would wave goodbye to when they were heading out of the Channel, and it would be your first sign that you were coming home when you were coming back from across the Atlantic. So it's an amazing spot, and it's just got so much atmosphere. Tiny little island, little town, village really. Feel so privileged to be here. It's great. And to come on your own boat, special.
Back on Gansha Girl, the lighthouse flashes as darkness falls. Next morning, we're off again, heading east to La Abarac and Roscoff. Then it's time to go north. back across the channel.
So it's early morning on the 2nd of August. It's about 7 a.m. We left Roscoff about 40 minutes ago. We're en route back across the channel. Hoping to get back to Plymouth tonight sometime, kind of midnight, 1 a.m. We're hoping this is the last leg of our Brittany cruise. At the moment we're motor sailing along. There's a bit of wind, not enough to sail properly, but it's due to pick up from the west during the day. So hopefully mid-morning we'll be able to switch the engine off. And yeah, feeling good. Yesterday was a bit of a disaster. We tried to go from La Baraque straight to Plymouth, but there was no wind, the tide was against us. It was obvious that we weren't making our average speed for the first couple of hours. We were never going to get there, so we came across to Roscoff instead, had a nice meal out, and resetting off again this morning.
What's your hope about the arrival, the other end? Time and manner?
Well, I mean, it just depends really on the journey. If the journey goes really, really well, which we can't rely on, we might get there before dark, or, well, total darkness, in which case we might be able to just go up the river and get to the mooring. If not, if we turn up and it's pitch black and we feel like the river's a bit too risky to navigate, we'll drop an anchor in Corsand and just spend the rest of the night there and go upriver in the morning. So either way, it's not a problem. Like, Plymouth is our home port, we know it well. I know there's no dangers to, you know, before you get to Corsand. It's outside the breakwater, wind's coming from the west, so it's protected, so that won't be a problem. So yeah, we'll should be okay, but you never know, of course. But all you can do is plan and hope.
Turns out it's a long day sailing across the channel. Plan B is the way things go. It takes till 1 a.m. to get to Corsand, where we anchor up. Next morning we're back at Weird Quay for some post-voyage reflections.
One of the special things for me about owning a boat is trying to sail as much as possible and using the engine as little as possible. I think when you see dolphins regularly, and also all the fish we see, seabirds everywhere, you start to get a real sense of how important it is to protect this fragile environment. So I think having the boat has given me an increased appreciation for both the beauty of the wildlife that lives in the sea and our responsibility really to protect it as much as we can.
We've had a fantastic trip, 5 weeks, lots of good sailing, bit of motoring, lots of careful planning. It's quite complicated passages like the Raz de Sein, going to Ushant, Channel de Four, crossing the English Channel, just the two of us, so it's quite complicated from a logistical point of view, but basically it all worked out, which is great. Boat was great, love this boat.
What was your favourite moment of all?
I don't know. It was all great. No, it wasn't all great.
Did you have a good meal anywhere?
No.
No. Tell me about the food.
Well, I mean, if you like sort of pig, then it's probably great. But I'm vegan, and France, not great. Breton, not great.
We didn't get to anchor in gorgeous little bays quite as much as we'd hoped. That was because it was very poor weather for July, much colder than usual. On balance, I'm just really glad we did it. I'm really glad to be home, can't wait to have a shower and just spread myself out. Yeah, it's been good.